You're too stupid to ever amount to anything. I need a wife who matches my intellect, Derek had said, leaving Destiny for a senator's daughter. 8 years later. Graduation day at the most elite university in the country. Derek sat in the VIP section with his wife, representing his company. The announcer spoke, "Please welcome our commencement speaker, the youngest Fortune 500 CEO in history." Destiny walked to the podium. Derek's coffee cup shattered on the floor. But it got worse. In the front row sat 3 children in tiny university sweatshirts. They waved at her. "Hi, Mommy!" His wife grabbed his arm. "Why do those children have your face?" Destiny smiled at the microphone. "I'd like to thank my 3 brilliant children for inspiring me every day. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. You're too stupid to finish college." Derek Thompson said these words to Destiny Martinez 8 years ago in her small apartment in Dorchester, Boston. She had just told him she was pregnant. He stood by the door with his coat already on. His car keys were in his hand. "Derek, please," Destiny said. Her voice shook. "We can figure this out together." "There is no together," Derek said. "I need a wife who can match my intellect. A baby with you would ruin my future." He walked out. The door closed behind him. Destiny sat on her old couch and cried alone. 2 weeks later, Derek blocked her phone number. He deleted her from his life completely. That was 8 years ago. Before that terrible night, Derek and Destiny were together for 3 years. They met at a coffee shop near Boston University. Derek was finishing his MBA. He came from Newton, Massachusetts. His parents were both professors. They taught him that education and social status were the most important things in life. Destiny was in her 2nd year at community college. She grew up in Dorchester. Her parents died in a car accident when she was 18. She had no family. She worked full-time as a waitress to pay her rent and tuition. She was smart and worked hard, but she had no money and no connections. Derek liked that Destiny was beautiful. He liked that she laughed at his jokes, but he always felt superior to her. He made comments about her community college education. He corrected her grammar in front of his friends from Boston University. "It's whom, not who," he would say at parties. His friends would laugh. Destiny would smile and pretend it did not hurt. Derek's parents met Destiny once. After she left, his mother said, "She seems nice, but is she really right for you?" Derek knew what his mother meant. Destiny was not from the right family. She did not have the right education. She did not have the right connections. But Derek kept dating her anyway. She was convenient. She was pretty. She made him feel important. Then Destiny got pregnant. Derek left her the same night she told him. He went home to his apartment in Newton. He sat in his car and blocked her number. He felt relief, not guilt. 3 months later, Derek married Claire Richardson. Claire was the daughter of Senator William Richardson from Massachusetts. The wedding was large and expensive. It took place at a hotel in Boston. Senator Richardson gave a speech about family and values. Derek smiled in all the photos. Senator Richardson liked Derek. He thought Derek was ambitious and intelligent. He wanted to help Derek's career. The senator made phone calls to his network. 2 weeks after the wedding, Derek got a manager position at Henderson Tech Solutions in San Francisco, California. Derek and Claire moved to California. They lived in a mansion in Pacific Heights. The house had 6 bedrooms and a view of the bay. Derek attended charity galas with Claire. He met politicians and business executives. He shook hands and made connections. He built a comfortable life using Claire's family name. Derek never thought about Destiny. He never wondered what happened to the baby. He completely forgot about her. Now, 8 years later, Everything changed. Derek worked at Henderson Tech Solutions as a manager. His boss called him into the office one morning. "Derek, the company wants representation at Stanford University's graduation ceremony in Palo Alto," his boss said. "You'll attend with your wife. It's good networking." "Of course," Derek said. "When is it?" "This Saturday at 10 in the morning." That Saturday, Derek and Claire drove from San Francisco to Palo Alto. The drive took about 45 minutes. Derek wore his best suit. Claire wore a blue dress and pearls. They arrived at Stanford University. The campus was beautiful, with green lawns and old buildings. Derek and Claire found their seats in the VIP section. The section was for company representatives and important guests. Derek sat down and picked up a cup of coffee from the table. "This is boring," Claire whispered. "How long do these ceremonies last?" "Maybe 2 hours," Derek said. The ceremony started. Students walked across the stage. The university president gave a speech about success and the future. Derek stopped paying attention. He drank his coffee and looked at his phone. Then the announcer walked to the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," the announcer said, "it is my honor to introduce our commencement speaker. She is the youngest Fortune 500 CEO in history. In just 7 years, she built a technology empire from nothing. Please welcome Destiny Martinez." Derek's head snapped up. His hands went cold. The coffee cup fell from his hand and shattered on the ground. Hot coffee splashed on his expensive shoes. People around him turned and stared. "Derek, what's wrong?" Claire asked. Derek could not speak. He watched the stage. Destiny Martinez walked out. She wore a black suit. Her dark hair was pulled back. She looked confident and powerful. She did not look like the scared young woman Derek left 8 years ago. She looked like someone important. Someone successful. Derek's heart pounded. His mouth went dry. Then he saw them. 3 children sat in the front row. 2 boys and 1 girl. They looked about 7 years old. They wore matching Stanford sweatshirts. All 3 had Derek's blue eyes. They had his nose. They had his smile. They had his face. The children waved at Destiny on stage. "Hi, Mommy!" they yelled together. Derek stared at them. His mind went blank. Destiny was pregnant with triplets. She had 3 children. She raised 3 children alone for 8 years while he lived in his mansion in Pacific Heights. Claire grabbed Derek's arm. Her nails dug into his skin. Her face went white. "Derek," Claire whispered. Her voice was sharp and cold. "Those kids have your face. Derek, what did you do?" Derek could not answer. He could not breathe. He watched Destiny walk to the microphone. She looked calm and strong. "Thank you," Destiny said to the audience. Her voice was clear and steady. "I am honored to speak to you today. I want to thank my 3 brilliant children for inspiring me every single day. Marcus, Maya, and Mason, everything I built was for you. Being your mother made me strong." The audience stood up and clapped. The sound was deafening. Everyone cheered for Destiny. Students threw their caps in the air. Parents took photos. The 3 children in the front row smiled and waved at their mother. Derek sat frozen in his chair. He stared at the woman he called too stupid to finish college. She was now a Fortune 500 CEO. She stood on stage at Stanford University, receiving a standing ovation. Claire let go of Derek's arm. She stood up and walked toward the exit. She did not look back. Derek sat alone in the VIP section. Coffee stains covered his shoes. Broken pieces of his cup lay on the ground around him. People whispered and pointed. On stage, Destiny smiled at her 3 children. She looked happy. She looked complete. Derek realized the woman he abandoned 8 years ago now controlled everything he never achieved. Derek's legs would not move. The ceremony ended. People stood up and walked toward the exits. Derek sat in his chair staring at the empty stage. Destiny was gone. The 3 children were gone. Only the sound of voices and footsteps filled the air. "Sir, are you all right?" A security guard stood next to Derek. "The ceremony is over. You need to leave." Derek looked up. "Yes? Sorry." He stood slowly. His legs felt weak. He looked around the VIP section. Several people were staring at him. 2 women whispered to each other while looking directly at him. A man in a gray suit pointed at Derek and said something to his wife. Derek walked toward the exit. He heard voices behind him. "Did you see those kids? They looked exactly like him." "Who is that woman? Destiny Martinez? She's the CEO of Martinez Technologies, worth billions. And he's just sitting there? Those are clearly his children." Derek walked faster. His face burned. He pushed through the crowd and went outside. The sun was bright. He looked around for Claire. She was not there. Derek walked to the parking lot. He found their car. Claire sat in the driver's seat. Her hands gripped the steering wheel. Her face was white. She stared straight ahead. Derek opened the passenger door and got in. He closed the door. Neither of them spoke. The silence was heavy and terrible. Finally, Claire turned to him. Her voice was quiet and cold. "Tell me the truth. Right now." Derek looked down at his hands. "I dated her 8 years ago, in Boston. And? She told me she was pregnant. And?" Claire's voice got louder. "I left her." "You left her?" "Yes." "You left a pregnant woman?" "Yes." Claire's hands started shaking. "Were you married to me when those children were born?" Derek did the math in his head. "Yes." Claire made a sound like a cry and a laugh at the same time. "So you abandoned a pregnant woman, married me 3 months later, and never told me you had 3 children." "I didn't know she had triplets," Derek said. "I didn't know she was pregnant with 3 babies." "Does that matter?" Claire shouted. "You left her when she was pregnant? You blocked her number. You never checked if she was okay." "I was young. I made a mistake." "A mistake?" Claire turned in her seat to face him fully. Tears ran down her face. "A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. A mistake is being late to dinner. Abandoning 3 babies is not a mistake, Derek. That is evil." "Claire, please." "Don't." Claire held up her hand. "Don't say anything else. I can't look at you right now." She started the car. They drove out of the Stanford parking lot. The drive back to San Francisco took 45 minutes. Neither of them said one word. Claire's tears dried on her face. Derek looked out the window. He saw his reflection in the glass. He looked old and tired. They arrived at their mansion in Pacific Heights. Claire parked the car and went inside without waiting for Derek. He followed her. The house was quiet. Claire went upstairs. Derek heard a door slam. Derek sat in the living room. The room was large and expensive. Leather couches, marble floors, paintings on the walls. Everything looked perfect and cold. Derek's phone rang. He looked at the screen. It was his boss from Henderson Tech Solutions. "Hello? Derek, this is Richard. I need you to come to the office Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Is something wrong? We'll discuss it Monday." Richard hung up. Derek put his phone down. His hands were shaking. The next day was Sunday. Claire did not come out of the bedroom. Derek slept on the couch. He did not sleep well. He kept seeing the 3 children's faces. Marcus, Maya, Mason. They had his eyes. Monday morning came. Derek drove to Henderson Tech Solutions in downtown San Francisco. He took the elevator to the 10th floor. Richard's office was at the end of the hall. Derek knocked on the door. "Come in," Richard said. Derek entered. Richard sat behind his desk. His face was serious. "Sit down, Derek." Derek sat. His heart pounded. "I received a phone call Saturday night," Richard said, "from someone who attended the Stanford ceremony. This person recognized you. They told me about the 3 children who have your face. They told me about Destiny Martinez." Derek said nothing. "Is it true?" Richard asked. "Did you abandon a pregnant woman 8 years ago?" "It was complicated," Derek said. "That's not an answer. Did you or did you not abandon a pregnant woman?" "Yes." Richard leaned back in his chair. He looked disappointed. "Derek, Henderson Tech Solutions has core values: integrity, responsibility, character. What you did 8 years ago does not reflect those values. That was 8 years ago. It has nothing to do with my work. It has everything to do with your work. Character matters. We represent this company at events and meetings. We cannot have someone representing us who abandoned 3 children." "What are you saying?" "You're on administrative leave, effective immediately. We'll investigate this matter. Go home. We'll contact you in a few days." "Richard, please." "Go home, Derek." Derek stood up. His legs felt weak again. He walked out of the office. People in the hallway stared at him. They knew. Everyone knew. Derek went to the parking lot. He sat in his car. He did not start the engine. He put his head in his hands. A woman knocked on his car window. Derek jumped. He looked up. A woman in a black suit stood outside his car. She looked professional and serious. Derek rolled down his window. "Yes? Mr. Thompson, my name is Sarah Chen. I'm Miss Martinez's assistant." Derek's heart stopped. "What do you want?" "Miss Martinez will see you. Once. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon." Sarah handed him a card. "This is the address. Do not be late." "She wants to see me?" "She will see you once, that is all." Sarah walked away. Derek looked at the card. The address was in downtown San Francisco. He put the card in his pocket. Derek drove home. When he entered the mansion, Claire was in the bedroom, packing a suitcase. "What are you doing?" Derek asked. "I'm going to Boston. I'm staying with my parents." "For how long?" "I don't know." Claire did not look at him. She folded a dress and put it in the suitcase. "I told my father everything." Derek's stomach dropped. "You told Senator Richardson?" "Of course I told him. He helped you get your job. He introduced us. He needs to know what kind of man you are." "Claire, please don't." "He's making phone calls right now. To his network. To his friends. You destroyed his reputation, too. You made our family look terrible." "I made a mistake 8 years ago." Claire stopped packing. She turned and looked at Derek. Her eyes were red from crying. "You keep saying that. I made a mistake. But you don't understand. You didn't make one mistake. You made a choice. You chose to abandon a pregnant woman. You chose to block her number. You chose to marry me without telling me the truth. You chose to build a life while she suffered. Those weren't mistakes. Those were choices. And now you have to live with the consequences." Claire closed her suitcase. She walked past Derek. He heard her footsteps on the stairs. He heard the front door open and close. He heard her car start and drive away. Derek stood alone in the empty house. The silence was complete. He went to his office and opened his computer. He typed Destiny Martinez into the search bar. Articles appeared. Hundreds of articles. Martinez Technologies valued at $3 billion. Youngest Fortune 500 CEO talks about success and motherhood. Destiny Martinez, from poverty to power. Derek clicked on the Forbes article. There was a photo of Destiny in her office. She wore a black suit. She looked confident and successful. The article described how she built her company from nothing. It said she created software that helped small businesses manage inventory. It said she started with one client and grew to 5,000 clients in 7 years. Derek kept reading. The article mentioned Destiny was a single mother of triplets. It said she worked multiple jobs while attending community college. It said she graduated with perfect grades and received a full scholarship to Stanford Business School. It said she never gave up. There were photos of Marcus, Maya, and Mason. They were at a charity event with their mother. They wore formal clothes. They smiled at the camera. They looked happy and confident. Derek stared at the photos for a long time. These were his children. They were 7 years old. He missed their entire lives. He was not there when they were born. He was not there for their first words or first steps. He was not there for birthdays or holidays. He was a stranger to them. Derek closed the computer. He sat in the dark office alone. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he would see Destiny. He would see his children. He did not know what to expect. He did not know what Destiny would say. He only knew that the woman he called too stupid to finish college now held all the power. Derek did not sleep that night. He sat on the couch in the living room watching the clock. The hours passed slowly. At 7 in the morning, he took a shower. He put on his best suit. His hands shook while he tied his tie. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Derek got in his car. The address on the card was in downtown San Francisco. The drive took 20 minutes. Derek found the building easily. It was tall and modern with glass walls. A sign near the entrance said, Martinez Technologies. Derek parked his car. He sat for a moment. His heart pounded. He looked at his reflection in the mirror. He looked scared. He got out of the car and walked to the building entrance. The lobby was large and bright. 2 security guards stood near the front desk. "I have a meeting with Miss Martinez," Derek said. His voice sounded weak. "My name is Derek Thompson." One guard checked a list on his tablet. "Yes, Mr. Thompson. Take the elevator to the 25th floor. Someone will meet you there." Derek walked to the elevator. He pressed the button for the 25th floor. The elevator moved up smoothly. Derek watched the numbers change. 10, 15, 20, 25. The doors opened. Sarah Chen stood waiting. She wore the same black suit from yesterday. "Mr. Thompson, follow me." Derek followed her down a long hallway. The walls were white. Through glass doors, Derek saw offices full of people working at computers. Everything looked professional and expensive. Sarah stopped at a large door at the end of the hall. She opened it. "Go inside. Miss Martinez is waiting." Derek entered the room. It was a conference room with a long table. The walls were glass. Derek could see all of San Francisco through the windows. The view was beautiful. Then Derek saw them. Destiny sat at the head of the table. She wore a navy blue suit. Her dark hair was pulled back. She looked calm and powerful. Next to her sat 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. They had Derek's blue eyes. They had his nose. They had his face. But they sat close to their mother. They looked at her with love and trust. Derek stopped walking. He could not breathe. These were his children. They were real. They were right in front of him. "Come in, Mr. Thompson," Destiny said. Her voice was cold and steady. "Close the door." Derek closed the door. His hands were shaking. "Sit down." Derek walked to the table and sat down. He could not stop staring at the 3 children. "Children," Destiny said. "This is Mr. Thompson. He works in technology. Mr. Thompson, these are my children. This is Marcus." The taller boy on the left nodded. He had dark hair and serious eyes. "This is Maya." The girl in the middle smiled politely. She had curly hair and warm eyes. "This is Mason." The boy on the right waved slightly. He had Derek's exact smile. "Hello, Mr. Thompson," Maya said. Her voice was sweet and confident. "Hi," Marcus said quietly. "Hey," Mason said. Derek tried to speak. No words came out. He cleared his throat. "Hello?" "How old are you?" Maya asked. "Our mom said you work in technology too." I'm 38 years old." "That's old," Mason said. Marcus elbowed him. "What?" "It is." "Mason, be polite," Destiny said. Her voice was firm but kind. She looked at her assistant, who stood by the door. "Sarah, please take the children to the break room. They can have snacks and watch a movie." "Sure, Miss Martinez. Come on, kids." The three children stood up. They kissed their mother's cheek one by one. "Bye, Mommy," they said together. "I'll see you in an hour," Destiny said. She smiled at them. The smile was warm and full of love. The children followed Sarah out of the room. The door closed. Derek and Destiny were alone. Destiny's smile disappeared. Her face became cold and hard. She looked at Derek with no emotion. "Do not speak," she said. "You will sit there and listen. Do you understand?" Derek nodded. I said, "Do you understand?" "Yes." "Good." Destiny folded her hands on the table. 8 years ago, you told me I was too stupid to finish college. You said a baby with me would ruin your future. You walked out of my apartment and blocked my phone number. Do you remember that? Yes. When you left, I had $50 in my bank account. That was all the money I had in the world. $50. Derek looked down at the table. "Look at me when I'm speaking." Derek looked up. Destiny's eyes were dark and cold. "I went to the doctor 2 weeks after you left. I thought I was pregnant with one baby. The doctor did an ultrasound. She said, 'Congratulations, you're having triplets.' 3 babies. I started crying right there in the doctor's office. The nurse had to help me to my car." Destiny's voice stayed calm. She spoke like she was reading a report. "I had no family. My parents died when I was 18. I had no brothers or sisters. I had no money. I was alone. So I made a plan. I needed to survive the pregnancy. I needed to give birth safely. I needed to keep the babies fed and healthy. I needed to finish school. I needed to build a career." "Destiny," I said, "do not speak." Her voice was sharp. Derek closed his mouth. "I worked 3 jobs while I was pregnant. I cleaned offices at night. I worked as a waitress during the day. I did data entry from home in the evening. I worked until the day I went into labor. I saved every single dollar. I bought baby clothes at thrift stores. I bought a used crib. I bought diapers in bulk when they were on sale." Destiny paused. She took a breath. Her face showed no emotion. "I went into labor on a Tuesday night. I was alone in my apartment. I called an ambulance. They took me to the hospital in Roxbury. I gave birth to 3 babies over 14 hours. Marcus came first, then Maya, then Mason. The nurses were kind. They helped me because they saw I had no one. When the babies were born, the nurse asked, 'Is your husband coming?' I said, 'I don't have a husband.' Derek felt sick. He wanted to look away, but he could not. For 2 years, I worked night shifts at a grocery store. My neighbor, Mrs. Chen, watched the babies while I worked. She was 70 years old. She had grandchildren in China she never saw. She said my babies reminded her of them. I paid her what I could. She never complained. I slept 3 hours a night. I took online classes during the day while the babies napped. I studied while I fed them. I studied while they played. I graduated from community college with perfect grades. How did you— I'm not finished. Destiny's voice was ice. A professor saw my grades. She helped me apply to Stanford Business School. I wrote my application essay while holding Mason. He had an ear infection and wouldn't stop crying. I got accepted. I got a full scholarship. I packed everything we owned into my old car and drove to California. The babies were 2 years old. Destiny stood up. She walked to the window. She looked out at the city. At Stanford, I studied technology and coding. I learned about business management. I learned about software development. I noticed that small businesses struggled with inventory management. They used spreadsheets and paper systems. It was slow and inefficient. So I created software to help them. I wrote the code myself. I stayed up all night after the children went to sleep. My first client was a small grocery store in San Jose. The owner paid me $500. Then I got 10 clients, then 100 clients, then 1,000 clients. I launched Martinez Technologies 5 years ago. Now we have 5,000 clients in 15 countries. The company is worth $3 billion. She turned around and looked at Derek. You told me I was too stupid to finish college. I built a $3 billion company. You were wrong about everything. Derek sat frozen in his chair. The silence in the conference room was heavy. Destiny stood by the window, looking out at the city. She did not look at him. Can I say something? Derek asked quietly. No. Destiny turned around. I told you my story because I want you to understand something. When you left me, you thought you were making the smart choice. You thought I would fail. You thought the baby would hold me back. You were wrong. I didn't need you. I never needed you. My children don't need you either. They're my children, too. Destiny laughed. It was a cold, bitter sound. They are not your children. You donated DNA. That is all. Marcus, Maya, and Mason are my children. I was there when they were born. I held them when they cried. I fed them. I taught them to walk and talk. I helped with homework. I attended every school event. I was there for everything. You were nowhere. I didn't know she was pregnant with triplets. Would it have mattered? If I was pregnant with one baby, would you have stayed? Derek said nothing. That's what I thought. Destiny walked back to the table. She stood across from Derek. You don't get to be their father now. You made your choice 8 years ago. The consequences are permanent. I want to apologize. I want to make this right. There is nothing to make right. My children are happy. They have a good life. They have everything they need. They don't know you exist, and they never will. You're going to lie to them. I'm protecting them. That's what a parent does. I protect my children from people who would hurt them. That includes you. Derek stood up. His legs felt weak. Please, I made a mistake. Goodbye, Mr. Thompson. Destiny pressed a button on the table. The door opened. Sarah Chen appeared. Please escort Mr. Thompson out of the building. Sarah nodded. This way, sir. Derek looked at Destiny one more time. She had already turned away. She was looking at her phone. He was dismissed. He meant nothing to her. Derek followed Sarah to the elevator. They rode down in silence. When they reached the lobby, Sarah spoke. Do not come back to this building. Do not try to contact Miss Martinez or her children. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Derek walked to his car. His hands shook so hard he could barely open the door. He sat in the driver's seat and put his head in his hands. He wanted to cry, but no tears came. He started the car and drove home. The drive back to Pacific Heights felt long. Derek kept seeing Marcus, Maya, and Mason's faces. They looked at their mother with so much love. They were happy. They were whole. They did not need him. Derek arrived at the mansion. It was afternoon. The house was empty and silent. Claire was still in Boston. Derek went to the living room and sat on the couch. He stared at the wall. His phone rang. It was Claire. Hello? Derek, I talked to my father. Claire's voice was cold and flat. "He's very angry." "Claire, I can explain." "There's nothing to explain. He already knows everything. I told him about Destiny. I told him about the 3 children. I told him you abandoned them 8 years ago." Derek closed his eyes. "What did he say?" "He said you're a disgrace. He said you made our family look terrible. He said he never should have helped you." "Is he going to—" "He's making phone calls right now. To everyone he knows in San Francisco. To his friends in business. To his political contacts. He wants everyone to know what kind of man you are." "Claire, please ask him to stop." "Why would I do that? You deserve this. You deserve everything that's coming. We've been married for 8 years. And you lied to me for 8 years. You let me believe I was your only family. But you had 3 children. 3 children you abandoned. How could you do that?" "I don't know. I was young and scared." "Stop saying that. You weren't that young. You were 30 years old. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're just a coward." "Claire!" She hung up. Derek put his phone down. He sat in the silence. 2 days passed. Derek stayed in the mansion alone. He did not go to work. Henderson Tech Solutions told him to stay home during the investigation. On Wednesday morning, Derek's phone rang. It was Richard, his manager. "Derek, I need you to come to the office, now." "Is this about the investigation?" "Just come in." Derek drove to the Henderson Tech Solutions office. He took the elevator to the 10th floor. Richard's office door was open. Derek walked in. Richard sat behind his desk. Another man sat in the corner. Derek recognized him. He was from Human Resources. "Sit down, Derek," Richard said. Derek sat. His stomach felt sick. "We've completed our investigation," Richard said. He picked up a folder. "Multiple people contacted us about the incident at Stanford. We also received a call from Senator Richardson's office. The senator expressed his disappointment in your character." "Richard, my personal life has nothing to do with my work." "That's where you're wrong. Henderson Tech Solutions has a reputation to maintain. We cannot employ someone who abandoned 3 children. It reflects badly on our company values." The man from Human Resources spoke. "Mr. Thompson, we are terminating your employment effective immediately. You'll receive 2 weeks of severance pay. You need to return your company laptop and access badge today." "You're firing me?" "Yes. You can't do this. We can, and we are. The decision is final." Derek stood up. "This is wrong. I've worked here for 8 years. And you should have told the truth 8 years ago. Clean out your desk. Security will escort you out." Derek walked to his desk in a daze. His co-workers watched him. They whispered to each other. Derek put his few personal items in a box. A photo of him and Claire. A coffee mug. Some pens. That was all. A security guard appeared. "I'll walk you out, sir." Derek carried his box to the elevator. People stared. He heard someone whisper, "That's the guy who abandoned Destiny Martinez." Derek left the building. He put the box in his car. He sat in the parking lot for a long time. He had no job. He had no income. He had nothing. Over the next 2 weeks, Derek sent his resume to 50 different companies. He applied to manager positions. He applied to entry-level positions. He applied to anything. He received 0 responses. His email stayed empty. His phone never rang. Derek called his former colleagues from Henderson Tech. People he thought were friends. They did not answer. He left messages. They did not call back. One man answered and said, "Sorry, Derek. I can't talk to you. It's not good for my career." Then he hung up. Derek went to a business networking event in downtown San Francisco. He wore his best suit. He tried to talk to people. A woman recognized him. She turned away. Others saw and did the same. Derek left after 20 minutes. On a Friday afternoon, a man knocked on the mansion door. Derek answered. The man handed him an envelope. "Derek Thompson?" "Yes." "You've been served." The man walked away. Derek opened the envelope. Inside was a divorce petition. Claire was filing for divorce. Her lawyer's name was at the bottom, Patricia Stern. Derek searched for the name on his phone. Patricia Stern was one of the most expensive divorce lawyers in San Francisco. She represented politicians and executives. She never lost. Derek tried to call Claire. She did not answer. He called again. Still no answer. He sent a text message. "We need to talk about this." She did not respond. Derek needed his own lawyer. He called 5 different law firms. He explained his situation. Every lawyer said the same thing. "Mr. Thompson, I'm sorry, but I cannot take your case." "Why not?" "The story is too public. It would be bad for my practice. I'm sorry." Derek tried smaller firms, solo practitioners, young lawyers who needed clients. Everyone said no. Nobody wanted to represent the man who abandoned Destiny Martinez. The divorce proceeded without Derek having a lawyer. Patricia Stern sent letters every week. The letters demanded financial information. They demanded documentation. They demanded everything. Derek finally hired a young lawyer named Kevin Ross. Kevin just passed the bar exam 6 months ago. He worked out of a small office in Oakland. He was Derek's only option. "I'll be honest, Mr. Thompson," Kevin said during their first meeting. "This doesn't look good. You signed a prenuptial agreement when you married Claire Richardson. Do you remember what it said?" "Not really. Her father's lawyer handled it." Kevin showed Derek a copy. "It says, if you commit moral misconduct during the marriage, your wife gets everything. The house, the cars, the savings, the investments, everything." "What counts as moral misconduct?" "Abandoning 3 children definitely counts." The divorce took 3 months. Patricia Stern was aggressive and efficient. She took everything. The mansion in Pacific Heights went to Claire. The 2 cars went to Claire. The savings accounts went to Claire. The investment portfolios went to Claire. Derek got nothing. "I'm sorry," Kevin said. "There's nothing I can do. The prenuptial agreement is clear." Derek moved out of the mansion on a cold Tuesday morning in October. He packed his clothes in 2 suitcases. That was all he could take. Everything else belonged to Claire. Derek drove to Daly City. He found a small apartment for rent. It was a 1-bedroom apartment in an old building. The rent was $800 a month. Derek paid the deposit with his credit card. The apartment was tiny. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. A kitchen the size of a closet. The walls were thin. Derek could hear his neighbors talking. The carpet was old and stained. The windows had cracks. Derek put his suitcases in the bedroom. He had no furniture, no bed, no couch, no table, no chairs. He sat on the floor in the empty living room. He took out his phone. No calls, no messages. He looked at his bank account. He had $3,000 left. That was all. Derek looked around the empty apartment. He had lost everything. His job, his wife, his house, his money, his reputation, his friends. Everything was gone. He lost it all because 8 years ago, he told a pregnant woman she was worthless. Derek slept on the floor that first night. He had no bed. He had no blanket. He used his jacket as a pillow. The floor was hard and cold. He did not sleep well. The next morning, Derek went to a thrift store. He bought a used mattress for $100. He bought 2 cheap plates, 2 cups, and some silverware. He bought a small lamp. That was all he could afford. Derek needed a job. Any job. He spent every day applying online. He applied to management positions. He applied to sales positions. He applied to administrative assistant positions. Nobody called him back. 2 months passed. Derek's money was running out. He had $1,000 left in his bank account. Rent was due in 1 week. Derek walked around Daly City looking for help wanted signs. He went into a grocery store. No openings. He went into a coffee shop. They were not hiring. He went into a clothing store. The manager said, "Sorry, we filled the position yesterday." Finally, Derek saw a sign in the window of an electronics store. "Sales associate needed. Apply inside." Derek walked in. The store sold phones, computers, and tablets. A young woman stood behind the counter. She looked about 25 years old. Her name tag said Jessica. "Can I help you?" she asked. "I saw the sign. I want to apply for the sales associate position." "Do you have experience in retail?" "No, but I have a business degree. I worked in technology management for 8 years. Jessica looked surprised. "Why do you want to work here?" "I need a job." "Okay, fill out this application. I'll give it to my manager." Derek filled out the application. He left out information about Henderson Tech Solutions. He did not mention why he left his last job. He handed the application back to Jessica. "Thanks. Someone will call you if we're interested." 3 days later, Derek's phone rang. It was the manager of the electronics store. "Mr. Thompson, this is Robert Chen. I'm the manager at Tech City Electronics. Can you come in for an interview tomorrow?" "Yes. What time?" 10 in the morning. Derek arrived at the store at 9:45 the next morning. He wore a clean shirt and pants. Robert Chen was a short man in his 50s. He had gray hair and kind eyes. "Have a seat, Mr. Thompson." Robert gestured to a small office in the back of the store. "Tell me about yourself." "I have an MBA from Boston University. I worked in technology for 8 years." "Why do you want to work retail?" Derek hesitated. "I'm between jobs right now. I need income." "What happened at your last job?" "There were personal issues. It didn't work out." Robert looked at Derek's application. "You left the work history section mostly blank. Why?" "Like I said, there were personal issues." Robert studied Derek's face. "I'll be honest. You seem overqualified for this position. The pay is $12 an hour. That's minimum wage. Is that okay?" "Yes. The work is simple but hard. You'll stand for 8 hours. You'll help customers. You'll stock shelves. You'll clean. Can you do that?" "Yes." "Can you start Monday?" "Yes." "Okay, you're hired." Derek started work the following Monday. He wore a blue polo shirt with the store logo. He stood behind the counter. Jessica showed him how to use the cash register. She showed him where products were located. She explained store policies. "It's pretty easy," Jessica said. "Just be nice to customers and don't steal. That's basically it." Derek worked from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. His feet hurt. His back hurt. He was not used to standing all day. When he got home, he collapsed on his mattress. This became Derek's life. Work, home, sleep. Work, home, sleep. Every day was the same. 6 months passed. It was now April. Derek was still working at Tech City Electronics. He got promoted to assistant manager. His pay increased to $13 an hour. It was not much, but it was something. One afternoon, a man walked into the store. He wore an expensive suit. He looked around at the phones on display. "Can I help you?" Derek asked. The man looked up. His face changed. "Wait, I know you. You're Derek Thompson." Derek's stomach dropped. "Yes." "You used to work at Henderson Tech Solutions, right?" "Yes." The man stared at Derek. "You're the guy who left Destiny Martinez when she was pregnant. Man, you're an idiot. She's a billionaire now." Derek said nothing. "Seriously, you must be the dumbest man alive. You left her, and now she's worth billions. And you're working here." The man laughed. "That's crazy!" The man walked out of the store without buying anything. Derek stood frozen behind the counter. Jessica walked over. "Who was that?" "Nobody." "Did he just say you left Destiny Martinez, the CEO? It's complicated." Jessica took out her phone. She typed on the screen. Her eyes went wide. "Oh my God! It says here you abandoned her when she was pregnant with triplets." "Jessica, that's really messed up." Jessica walked away. By the end of the day, everyone in the store knew. Derek heard his co-workers whispering. They looked at him differently. They stopped talking when he walked by. That night, Derek went home to his small apartment. He took out his laptop. He searched for Destiny Martinez on the internet. The first result was a Forbes article from last month. The headline said, "Destiny Martinez, the visionary CEO who built a $5 billion empire." $5 billion. The company grew from $3 billion to $5 billion in 6 months. Derek read the article. It described how Martinez Technologies just acquired 2 major competitors. The company now operated in 20 countries. Destiny was named one of the top 50 most powerful women in business. There were photos of Destiny at a charity event. She wore a black dress. She stood with Marcus, Maya, and Mason. The children were now 8 years old. They wore formal clothes. They smiled at the camera. They looked happy and confident. The article mentioned Destiny overcame poverty and single motherhood to build her success. It did not mention Derek's name. Derek stared at the photos for a long time. His children looked complete. They did not look like children who needed a father. They had everything. Derek opened a document on his laptop. He started typing. "Dear Destiny, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I need to say this. I was wrong about everything. I was wrong about you. I underestimated your strength and intelligence. You proved me wrong in every possible way. I made a terrible mistake 8 years ago. I was scared and selfish. I said cruel things I didn't mean. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I want to be part of Marcus, Maya, and Mason's life. They deserve to know their father. I know I haven't been there, but I want to change that. I want to make this right. Please give me a chance. Derek. Derek read the letter 5 times. He printed it. He put it in an envelope. He wrote the Martinez Technologies address on the front. He drove to a post office and mailed it. 2 weeks passed. Derek checked his mailbox every day. Nothing came. On a Tuesday afternoon, Derek came home from work. There was a large envelope in his mailbox. The return address said, "Law Offices of Patricia Stern." Derek opened the envelope. Inside was a letter on official law firm paper. "Dear Mr. Thompson, this letter is written on behalf of Miss Destiny Martinez. Miss Martinez has no interest in communication with you. You made your choice 8 years ago when you abandoned her and your unborn children. That choice was final. Do not contact Miss Martinez again. Do not contact her children. Do not attempt to visit her home or office. Do not send letters, emails, or messages of any kind. If you attempt any further contact, Miss Martinez will file for a restraining order. Violation of a restraining order is a criminal offense. You will be arrested. This is your only warning. Sincerely, Patricia Stern, Attorney at Law." Derek read the letter 10 times. His hands shook. The message was clear. Destiny wanted nothing to do with him. She would use the law to keep him away. She would have him arrested if he tried to contact her again. Derek sat on his mattress on the floor. He held the letter. He understood now. There was no redemption. There was no second chance. There was no forgiveness. Some doors, once closed, never open again. Derek kept the lawyer's letter on his small kitchen counter. He read it every morning before work. The words never changed. "Do not contact Miss Martinez again. You will be arrested." 3 weeks after receiving the letter, Derek saw Destiny on television. He was at work at Tech City Electronics. A television on the wall displayed the news. The volume was low, but Derek could see the screen. The news anchor said something. Then Destiny's face appeared. She stood at a podium with microphones. Behind her was a sign that said, "Martinez Technologies." Derek turned up the volume. "Announcing a major expansion," the news anchor said. "Martinez Technologies will partner with 3 international corporations. The company will now operate in 30 countries. CEO Destiny Martinez made the announcement this morning." The camera showed Destiny speaking. "This partnership represents growth, not just for Martinez Technologies, but for small businesses around the world. Our software will help entrepreneurs in Asia, Europe, and South America manage their operations more efficiently." Reporters asked questions. Destiny answered with confidence. She looked powerful and calm. The news segment ended. Why, Jessica walked over. "Isn't that the woman you left?" "Yes, she's really successful." Derek turned off the television. He went back to work. That evening, Derek stopped at a grocery store on his way home. While waiting in line to pay, he saw a magazine display. Time. Magazine's latest cover showed a group of women. The headline said, "The Most Powerful Women in America." Destiny's face was on the cover. She stood in the center of the group. Derek picked up the magazine. His hands shook. He bought it and took it home. Derek sat on his mattress and read the article. It was 10 pages long. Half of one page was about Destiny. Destiny Martinez, 38, is the CEO of Martinez Technologies, a company valued at $5 billion. Martinez built her empire while raising 3 children as a single mother. She worked multiple jobs while attending community college, then earned a full scholarship to Stanford Business School. Today, her software helps over 5,000 small businesses in 20 countries. Martinez credits her success to determination and her children. "Being a mother made me stronger," Martinez said in an interview. "When you have 3 kids depending on you, failure is not an option. You find a way to survive, and then you find a way to succeed." Martinez overcame abandonment and poverty to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. She recently announced plans to expand her company's operations globally. Business analysts predict Martinez Technologies will be worth $10 billion within 5 years. The article did not mention Derek's name. It only said Destiny overcame abandonment. Derek closed the magazine. He put it on the floor next to his mattress. He stared at the ceiling. Destiny was one of the most powerful women in America. He was nobody. The next week, Derek saw Destiny on television again. She was on a business news program. The host asked her about her success. "Miss Martinez, you built a $5 billion company in 7 years. What's your secret?" "There's no secret," Destiny said. "I worked hard. I identified a problem and created a solution. I focused on helping small businesses succeed." "You're also a single mother of triplets. How do you balance work and family?" "My children are my priority. Everything I do is for them. They inspire me every day." "Do you have advice for other single mothers trying to build careers?" "Yes. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't succeed. People will doubt you. They will say you're not smart enough or strong enough. Prove them wrong. Show them what you can do." The interview ended. Derek turned off the television. While Derek's life stayed small and difficult, Destiny's life continued to grow. 3 months later, Derek was at work when Jessica showed him something on her phone. "Look at this. It's about Destiny Martinez." Derek looked at the screen. It was a news article. The headline said, "Destiny Martinez donates $50 million to scholarship fund for single mothers." Derek read the article. Destiny created a scholarship program. The program provided full college tuition for single mothers. It also provided money for childcare and living expenses. $50 million would help over 1,000 women attend college. The article included a quote from Destiny. "I was a single mother with 3 babies and no money. Someone gave me a chance. A professor helped me apply to Stanford. A scholarship paid for my education. Now, I want to give other women the same chance." There was a photo of Destiny at the Scholarship Fund launch event. She stood on a stage. Behind her were 10 women holding their children. The women were smiling and crying. They were the first scholarship recipients. "That's really nice of her," Jessica said. Derek handed the phone back. He said nothing. That night, Derek searched for more information about Destiny online. News coverage of the Scholarship Fund was everywhere. Every major news network covered the story. Newspapers wrote articles. Social media posts praised Destiny's generosity. Derek found a video of the scholarship launch event. He watched it on his laptop. Destiny stood at a podium. The room was full of people. "I know what it's like to be alone with children and no money," Destiny said. "I know what it's like to work 3 jobs and sleep 3 hours a night. I know what it's like to choose between buying diapers and buying food. Education gave me a way out. Education changed my life. I want to give that gift to other mothers." The audience gave her a standing ovation. People clapped and cheered. Some women were crying. Derek closed his laptop. He felt sick. Over the next months, Derek continued to see Destiny everywhere. She appeared in business magazines. She gave speeches at conferences. Business schools started teaching case studies about Martinez technologies. Young entrepreneurs said Destiny inspired them. Derek saw photos of Marcus, Maya, and Mason online. They were 8 years old now. They attended a private school in Atherton. They were excellent students. One article described Marcus. He loved science. He built robots at home. He won first place in his school science fair. The project was about renewable energy. Another article mentioned Maya. She volunteered at an animal shelter every Saturday. She wanted to be a veterinarian when she grew up. She was kind and loved helping animals. A third article talked about Mason. He was learning to code. He created a simple video game on his mother's computer. He also played guitar. His mother said he was creative and curious. The 3 children were close. They supported each other. Every photo showed them smiling together. They looked happy. Derek realized something. These children never asked about their father. Destiny told them years ago that their father was not part of their lives. The children accepted this. They focused on school, activities, and their mother. They were whole without him. One evening, Derek sat in his apartment after work. His feet hurt. His back hurt. He was tired. He turned on his laptop and searched for Destiny one more time. He found an interview from last week. The interviewer asked, "Do you ever think about revenge? Someone hurt you badly. Do you want them to suffer?" Destiny shook her head. "I don't think about revenge. That person is irrelevant to my life. My success has nothing to do with them. I built my company because I wanted to help small businesses. I raised my children because I love them. None of that was about proving anything to anyone. It was about building the life I wanted." "So you've moved on completely?" "Completely. That person doesn't exist in my world anymore." Derek closed the laptop. He understood now. Destiny did not need revenge. She did not need to hurt him. Her success was not about him at all. She simply proved he was wrong. She won by living well. Derek looked around his tiny apartment. One room, old furniture, cracked walls. This was his life now. He worked at an electronics store making $13 an hour. He lived alone. He had no family. He had no friends. He had nothing. Destiny lived in a mansion in Atherton. She ran a $5 billion company. She had 3 extraordinary children. She was one of the most powerful women in America. She had everything. Derek made one cruel choice 8 years ago. That choice destroyed his entire life. Meanwhile, Destiny took that same moment and built an empire. Derek's greatest punishment was not what Destiny did to him. His greatest punishment was watching her succeed without him. 3 years passed slowly. Each day felt the same. Derek woke up in his small apartment. He went to work at Tech City Electronics. He came home. He ate dinner alone. He went to sleep. Then he did it all again. Derek was now 40 years old. His hair had more gray. His face had lines. He looked tired all the time. He was promoted to assistant manager at the store. His pay increased to $15 an hour. It was not much, but it helped with rent. Derek had one friend. His name was James. James worked at the electronics store too. He was 26 years old. He and Derek sometimes watched football together on Sunday afternoons. That was the extent of Derek's social life. It was a Tuesday afternoon in June. Derek stood behind the counter at Tech City Electronics. A man walked into the store. He wore jeans and a t-shirt. He looked at the display of laptops. "Can I help you find something?" Derek asked. The man looked up. His face changed. "Wait, Derek Thompson?" Derek's stomach tightened. "Yes. I thought that was you. I'm Mike Brennan. We met at a tech conference in San Francisco, like 4 years ago. You worked at Henderson Tech Solutions." "Right. I remember." Mike looked around the store. "You work here now?" "Yes." "What happened? I heard Henderson let you go." "It was a personal matter." Mike nodded slowly. Then his face changed again. "Oh man, I remember now. You're the guy. You left Destiny Martinez when she was pregnant." Derek said nothing. "Dude," Mike shook his head. "That's insane. She's worth billions now. Her company is everywhere, and you're working retail. I need to help other customers. I mean, you really messed up. She's probably one of the richest women in California. And you could have been part of that. Instead, you're here." Mike laughed. "That's crazy." Mike walked out without buying anything. Derek stood behind the counter. His face felt hot. His hands shook. Jessica walked over. "Was that guy bothering you?" "No. He's just someone I used to know." "He said you left Destiny Martinez when she was pregnant. Is that true?" Derek did not answer. "Derek, is it true?" "Yes." Jessica stared at him. "Why would you do that?" "I don't want to talk about it." "She has 3 kids, right? Triplets?" "Yes." "And you just left her?" "Jessica, please. That's really messed up." Jessica walked away. By the end of the day, everyone knew. Derek heard his co-workers whispering. Robert, the store manager, called Derek into the back office. "Derek, is there something you need to tell me?" "No. People are saying you abandoned 3 children. That was a long time ago. It has nothing to do with my work here." Robert looked uncomfortable. "Okay, just keep your personal life separate from work. Understand?" "I understand." Derek finished his shift. He went home to his apartment. He ordered cheap Chinese food for dinner. He ate alone. Then he opened his laptop. He searched for Destiny Martinez. The first result was a Forbes article from last week. The headline said, "Martinez Technologies now worth $5 billion." Derek read the article. The company acquired 2 major competitors in the last year. Martinez Technologies now operated in 25 countries. The company employed over 8,000 people. Business analysts predicted the company would be worth $10 billion within 3 years. There were photos of Destiny at a press conference. She wore a gray suit. She looked powerful and successful. She looked nothing like the scared 22-year-old girl Derek left in Boston. Derek searched for Marcus, Maya, and Mason. He found a recent article about a charity event in San Francisco. The article had photos. Destiny stood with her 3 children. They were 10 years old now. They wore formal clothes. They smiled at the camera. Marcus was tall for his age. He had dark hair and serious eyes. The article said he won a national science competition. His project was about solar energy. Maya had curly hair and a bright smile. The article said she volunteered at children's hospitals. She read books to sick kids every weekend. She wanted to be a doctor. Mason looked exactly like Derek did as a child. Same smile, same eyes. The article said Mason was learning advanced computer programming. He already created 3 apps. His mother said he was brilliant. Derek stared at the photos for a long time. These were his children. They were 10 years old. He missed their entire lives. He was not there for their first day of school. He was not there for birthdays. He was not there for anything. They did not know he existed. Derek closed his laptop. He sat in the dark apartment. He made a decision. The next morning, Derek woke up early. He took out paper and a pen. He started writing. "Dear Destiny, I know you told me not to contact you. I know you have no interest in hearing from me, but I need to try one more time. 3 years have passed since we last spoke. I have thought about you and the children every single day. I was wrong. I was wrong about everything. You are not stupid. You are brilliant. You built an empire. You raised 3 extraordinary children. You proved me wrong in every way. I made a terrible mistake when I left you. I cannot change the past, but I want to try to fix the future. Marcus, Maya, and Mason deserve to know their father. I know I have not been there. I know I abandoned them, but I want to change that now. Please let me be part of their lives. Please give me one chance. Children need both parents. I can be a good father. I can help them. I can be there for them. I am not the same person I was 10 years ago. I have learned. I have suffered. I understand now what I did was wrong. Please forgive me. Please let me see my children. Derek." Derek read the letter 5 times. He put it in an envelope. He wrote the address for Martinez Technologies on the front. He drove to the post office and mailed it. 1 week passed. Derek checked his mailbox every day. Nothing came. 2 weeks passed. Still nothing. On a Thursday afternoon, Derek was at work. 2 men in security uniforms walked into Tech City Electronics. They looked around. One of them walked to Derek. "Are you Derek Thompson?" "Yes. We need you to come with us outside for a moment." "Why?" "Just come outside, sir." Derek followed the 2 security guards outside. They stood in the parking lot. One guard handed Derek a large envelope. "You've been served." Derek opened the envelope. Inside were legal documents. The first page said, "Restraining Order," in large letters. Derek's hands started shaking. He read the document. "The court hereby orders Derek Thompson to stay at least 500 feet away from Destiny Martinez, Marcus Martinez, Maya Martinez, and Mason Martinez. Derek Thompson is prohibited from contacting the above-named individuals by phone, email, letter, or any other means. Derek Thompson is prohibited from entering the property at 742 Atherton Avenue, Atherton, California. Derek Thompson is prohibited from entering the offices of Martinez Technologies at 1551 Market Street, San Francisco, California. Violation of this order is a criminal offense, punishable by arrest and imprisonment." The document was signed by a judge. Derek looked up at the security guards. "What is this?" "It's a restraining order. Miss Martinez filed it 3 days ago. You need to read it carefully and follow all the rules. If you violate the order, you will be arrested. Do you understand?" "Yes." The security guards left. Derek stood in the parking lot holding the papers. His whole body shook. Robert came outside. "Derek, what's going on?" "Nothing." Those men gave you legal papers. What is it? Derek hesitated. It's a restraining order. A restraining order? From who? From someone I used to know. Robert's face became serious. Derek, I'm sorry, but this is a problem. We cannot have employees with restraining orders. It reflects badly on the store. It could scare customers. Robert, please. I'm sorry. I have to let you go. Clean out your locker. I'll mail your final paycheck. You're firing me? Yes, I'm sorry. Derek went inside. He cleaned out his locker. He put his few items in a bag. James walked over. Hey man, what happened? I got fired. Why? Long story. Derek shook James's hand. It was good working with you. Yeah. Good luck, Derek. Derek left the store. He got in his car. He sat in the parking lot for a long time. He had no job. He had no income. He had a restraining order. He could not contact Destiny. He could not contact his children. If he tried, he would be arrested. Derek drove home. He went to his apartment. He sat on his mattress. He held the restraining order papers. He read them again. The message was clear. Destiny wanted nothing to do with him. She used the law to keep him away. She would have him arrested if he tried to contact her or the children again. Derek put the papers on the floor. He lay down on his mattress. He stared at the ceiling. He understood now. There was no redemption. There was no second chance. There was no forgiveness. Some consequences were permanent. Some doors would never open, no matter how hard he knocked. Derek spent the next 3 weeks looking for work. He needed money. Rent was due in 2 weeks. He had $400 left in his bank account. Derek applied to 20 different stores and restaurants. He filled out applications online. He walked into businesses and asked if they were hiring. Every employer asked the same question. Have you ever had a restraining order filed against you? Derek had to answer yes. It was on his background check. He could not lie. Every employer said the same thing. I'm sorry, we cannot hire you. Derek's money ran out. He could not pay rent. His landlord knocked on his door. Mr. Thompson, your rent is 3 days late. I know. I just lost my job. I need more time. I can give you 1 more week. After that, I start eviction proceedings. I understand. Thank you. Derek kept searching for work. Finally, a fast food restaurant in Oakland called him. Mr. Thompson, this is Maria Gonzalez. I'm the manager at Quick Burger in Oakland. Can you come in for an interview? Yes. When? Today at 3 o'clock. Derek drove to Oakland. Quick Burger was a small fast food restaurant near the highway. The building was old. The parking lot had cracks. Inside smelled like cooking oil and cleaning supplies. Maria was a short woman in her 40s. She had tired eyes and gray hair pulled back in a ponytail. Have a seat, Maria said. They sat at a table near the window. I see on your application you have a restraining order. What happened? Derek hesitated. It's personal. It's from someone I used to know. I didn't threaten anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. Okay, I'll be honest. Most people don't want to work night shift. That's why I'm willing to hire you. The shift is from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. Minimum wage. Can you do that? Yes. You'll work the fryer, the register, and cleaning. It's hard work. Can you handle it? Yes. When can you start? Tomorrow. Okay, you're hired. Wear black pants and a black shirt. We'll give you a uniform shirt when you get here. Derek started work the next night. He arrived at 9:45. Maria gave him a black shirt with the Quick Burger logo. She showed him how to use the fryer and the register. She showed him where the cleaning supplies were kept. It's pretty simple, Maria said. Take orders, make food, clean. That's it. We get busy between midnight and 3 in the morning. People come in after bars close. Derek worked from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. He stood at the fryer cooking burgers and fries. He took orders at the register. He cleaned tables and floors. His feet hurt. His back hurt. He was 40 years old, working alongside teenagers and college students. At 6 in the morning, Derek drove home. His car and clothes smelled like cooking oil. He took a shower. He tried to sleep, but the apartment was noisy. He heard neighbors talking. He heard traffic outside. He slept for 3 or 4 hours. Then he woke up and did it again. This became Derek's life. Work all night, sleep a few hours, wake up, work all night. Every day was the same. 2 months passed. It was now September. Derek's apartment was falling apart. The heater stopped working. The landlord said he would fix it, but never did. The windows had cracks. Cold air came through. Derek wore a jacket inside. The neighborhood was dangerous. Derek heard gunshots at night. He heard police sirens constantly. He saw drug dealers on his street corner. He kept his head down and tried to stay invisible. One night, Derek came home from work at 6 in the morning. He walked into his apartment. He looked around. One room, broken furniture, dirty walls, the smell of mold. This was his life now. Derek sat on the floor. Something inside him broke. He started crying. He cried for the first time in years. He put his head in his hands and sobbed. He thought about the life he could have had. He could have stayed with Destiny. He could have raised Marcus, Maya, and Mason. He could have helped Destiny build her company. They could have been a family. Instead, he chose status and money. He married Claire because her father was a senator. He thought connections were more important than love. He was wrong about everything. Derek cried until he had no tears left. Then he lay on the floor and stared at the ceiling. That evening, Derek went to a bar in Oakland. He needed to be around people. He needed to not be alone. The bar was small and dark. A few people sat at tables. Derek sat at the bar and ordered a beer. "Rough day?" the bartender asked. "Rough life." Derek drank his beer. A man sat down next to him. The man was in his 50s. He wore work clothes. He had grease on his hands. "You look like you're having a bad time," the man said. "You could say that." "What do you do?" "I work at a fast food restaurant." "Nothing wrong with that. Honest work." "I have an MBA from Boston University." The man looked surprised. "An MBA and you work at a fast food place? What happened?" Derek drank more beer. He was tired. He was tired of lying. He was tired of hiding. He told the truth. "I left a woman when she was pregnant. I told her she was too stupid to succeed. I married someone else and forgot about her. Now she's a billionaire. She has 3 kids. My 3 kids. I abandoned them. Now I work night shift at Quick Burger and live in a terrible apartment. That's what happened." The man listened. He ordered a beer. He drank it slowly. Then he spoke. "You know what your problem is?" "What?" "You think you deserve forgiveness. You think because you feel bad now, everything should be okay. You think your apologies should mean something. But that's not how it works. You made a choice. Choices have consequences. You don't get to decide when the consequences end. I know I made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. A mistake is an accident. You made a choice. You chose to abandon a pregnant woman. You chose to call her stupid. You chose to block her number. You chose to marry someone else. Those were all choices. And now you live with the consequences. That's how life works." The man finished his beer. He put money on the bar. He looked at Derek. "You want to know the truth? You don't deserve forgiveness. That woman doesn't owe you anything. Those kids don't owe you anything. You destroyed your own life. Nobody did it to you. You did it to yourself." The man stood up and walked out of the bar. Derek sat alone. He stared at his beer. The man was right. Derek spent years thinking he deserved a second chance. He thought his apologies should matter. He thought he should get to see his children. But nobody owed him anything. He destroyed his chance at a family. There was no fixing it. Derek finished his beer. He paid and left. He walked to his car. He drove home to his broken apartment. He lay on his mattress on the floor. He stared at the ceiling. He accepted the truth. This was his life now. He would work minimum wage jobs. He would live in bad apartments. He would be alone. This was the consequence of his cruelty. Some mistakes could not be fixed. Some damage was permanent. He made one choice 10 years ago. That choice would follow him forever. Derek closed his eyes. He did not sleep. He just lay there in the dark, thinking about everything he lost and everything he would never have. 5 more years passed. Derek turned 45 years old. His hair was mostly gray now. His face had deep lines. His back hurt all the time from standing. His knees hurt. His hands hurt. He looked older than 45. He looked tired and defeated. Derek still worked at Quick Burger in Oakland. After 3 years, Maria promoted him to shift supervisor. He made $12 an hour. It was 50 cents more than minimum wage. Derek worked 5 nights a week from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. Derek had one friend. James still worked at Quick Burger too. James was now 31 years old. He and Derek watched football together sometimes on Sunday afternoons. They drank cheap beer and ate frozen pizza. They did not talk about their lives much. They just watched the game. Derek's parents both died. His mother died 3 years ago from cancer. His father died last year from a heart attack. Derek attended both funerals in Newton, Massachusetts. His extended family was there: aunts, uncles, cousins. They were polite to Derek, but distant. They knew what he did. They knew he abandoned Destiny and the children. They did not forgive him. At his mother's funeral, his Aunt Patricia pulled him aside. "Your mother was heartbroken about what you did," Patricia said. "She cried when she found out about those children. She wanted to meet them, but you made that impossible." "I know," Derek said. "You broke her heart, Derek." Derek had no response. Patricia walked away. At his father's funeral, Derek's cousin Michael spoke to him briefly. "Are you doing okay?" Michael asked. "I'm fine." "Where are you living now?" "Oakland." "What do you do?" "I work at a restaurant." Michael nodded. He looked uncomfortable. "Well, take care of yourself." Michael walked away quickly. Nobody else talked to Derek. He sat alone during the service. He left immediately after. Derek learned his parents left their money to charity. They donated everything to scholarships for underprivileged students. Derek received nothing. His mother's will included a note: "We cannot leave our money to someone who abandoned his own children." Derek was alone. He had no family. He had no real friends except James. He had nothing. It was a Wednesday morning in May. Derek finished his shift at Quick Burger at 6 in the morning. He was tired. His feet hurt. He smelled like cooking oil. He drove to a coffee shop in Oakland before going home. He needed coffee. He needed to sit somewhere that was not his apartment or the restaurant. The coffee shop was small and quiet. Derek ordered a large black coffee. He sat at a table by the window. He closed his eyes for a moment. Someone left a magazine on the table. Derek opened his eyes and looked at it. The magazine was called Business Today. The cover showed 3 young people in business suits, 2 men and 1 woman. They were smiling. They looked confident and successful. Derek's heart stopped. He recognized them immediately: Marcus, Maya, and Mason. His children. They were now 25 years old. Derek picked up the magazine with shaking hands. The headline said, "The Martinez Family Legacy: How One Mother Built an Empire and Raised 3 World Changers." Derek opened the magazine. The article was 12 pages long. It had many photos. Photos of Destiny. Photos of the children. Photos of the whole family together. Derek read every word. Marcus, Maya, and Mason Martinez just graduated from MIT. All 3 earned degrees with highest honors. Their mother, Destiny Martinez, CEO of Martinez Technologies, attended the graduation ceremony last week. Marcus Martinez, 25, graduated with a degree in renewable energy engineering. He is launching a company called Green Future Energy. The company develops clean energy technology for residential homes. Marcus already secured $10 million in funding from investors. "My mother taught me that hard work can change the world," Marcus said in an interview. "I want to help solve climate change. That's my goal." Maya Martinez, 25, graduated with a degree in biomedical engineering. She is attending Johns Hopkins Medical School in Baltimore, Maryland. She wants to become a pediatric surgeon. "I want to help children," Maya said. "I want to make sure every child gets the medical care they need, regardless of their family's income." Mason Martinez, 25, graduated with a degree in computer science. He is joining Martinez Technologies as a junior developer. He will work directly with his mother to develop new software products. "My mom built this company from nothing," Mason said. "I want to learn from her and help grow the company even more." The 3 siblings are close. They support each other in all their endeavors. Their mother, Destiny Martinez, raised them as a single parent while building a $5 billion company. "My children are my greatest achievement," Destiny Martinez said. "Everything I built was for them. They inspire me every single day." Destiny Martinez never married. She dedicated her life to her children and her work. She is one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. Martinez Technologies now operates in 30 countries and employs over 10,000 people. Martinez is also known for her philanthropic work. She donated over $100 million to scholarships for single mothers. She funded programs that provide childcare for low-income families. She built community centers in poor neighborhoods. Last year, Time magazine named Destiny Martinez one of the most influential people in the world. Business analysts predict Martinez Technologies will be worth $10 billion within 3 years. The Martinez family represents success through hard work, determination, and love. Destiny overcame poverty and abandonment to build an empire. She raised 3 extraordinary children who are now changing the world themselves. The article did not mention Derek's name. It only said, "Destiny overcame abandonment." Derek stared at the photos. Marcus looked serious and intelligent. Maya looked warm and kind. Mason looked creative and confident. All 3 looked successful and happy. There was a large photo of Destiny with her 3 children. They stood together, smiling. Destiny's arms were around them. They looked like a complete family. They looked like they had everything they needed. Derek put the magazine down. He looked around the coffee shop. Nobody was looking at him. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew he was the father of Marcus, Maya, and Mason. Nobody cared. Derek picked up his phone. He searched for Destiny Martinez on the internet. The first result was a news article from yesterday. The headline said, "Destiny Martinez named one of most powerful women in business." Derek read the article. It described Destiny's achievements. It described her company's growth. It described her charitable work. It called her a visionary and a role model. There were photos of Destiny at business conferences. She wore expensive suits. She spoke at podiums in front of hundreds of people. She looked powerful and confident. She looked nothing like the scared 22-year-old girl Derek left in Boston 13 years ago. Derek put his phone down. He drank his coffee. It was cold now. He looked out the window. Cars drove by. People walked on the sidewalk. The world kept moving. Nobody noticed Derek sitting alone in a coffee shop. Derek thought about his life. He was 45 years old. He worked night shift at a fast food restaurant. He made $12 an hour. He lived in a broken apartment in a dangerous neighborhood. He had no family. He had no real friends. He had nothing. Destiny was 43 years old. She ran a $5 billion company. She raised 3 extraordinary children. She was one of the most influential people in the world. She had everything. Derek realized something. Destiny's greatest victory was not destroying him. Her greatest victory was becoming so successful that he did not matter at all. She did not think about him. She did not talk about him. She did not waste energy hating him. He was simply irrelevant to her life. Derek was invisible. He was nobody. His 3 children did not know his name. They did not think about him. They did not need him. They had their mother. They had each other. They had success and love and happiness. They were complete without him. Derek left the coffee shop. He got in his car. He drove home to his apartment. He walked inside. He looked around the small, broken room. This was his life. This would always be his life. He destroyed his real family 13 years ago. He told a pregnant woman she was too stupid to succeed. She proved him wrong in every possible way. She built an empire. She raised 3 world changers. She became one of the most powerful women in America. Derek threw away the best thing he ever had. He chose status over love. He chose money over family. He lost everything. He would spend the rest of his life alone, watching from a distance as Destiny and his children lived in success and happiness he would never know. Some consequences were permanent. Some doors would never open. Derek made his choice 13 years ago. Now he lived with it. Forever. 2 more years passed. Derek turned 47 years old. He still worked at Quick Burger in Oakland. He was still a shift supervisor, making $12 an hour. His body hurt constantly. His back ached from standing for 8 hours every night. His knees were bad. His hands were stiff. He moved slowly. He looked 60 years old, not 47. Derek lived in the same apartment. The building got worse every year. The roof leaked. Water stains covered the ceiling. The carpet was black with mold. The windows did not close properly. Cold air came in during winter. Hot air came in during summer. Derek could not afford to move. He could barely afford rent. Derek had no family. His parents were dead. His extended family did not speak to him. He had no wife. He had no children. James was his only friend. They still watched football together sometimes, but James was getting married soon. James talked about his fiancée constantly. Derek was happy for him, but he knew their friendship would end soon. James would have a wife. Derek would be alone again. It was a Friday evening in November. Derek finished his shift at 6 in the morning. He drove home through Oakland. The sun was coming up. The sky was gray and cold. Derek stopped at a red light. He looked to his right. There was a large billboard next to the road. Derek's heart stopped. The billboard showed Destiny standing with Marcus, Maya, and Mason. All 4 were smiling. They wore business clothes. They looked successful and happy. The billboard said, Martinez Technologies, Innovation, Family, Excellence. Derek stared at the billboard. The light turned green. Cars behind him honked. Derek drove forward slowly. He kept looking at the billboard in his rearview mirror until it disappeared. Derek drove home. He parked his car. He walked to his apartment. He went inside and sat on his old couch. He put his head in his hands. Marcus was 27 years old now. His company, Green Future Energy, was successful. Derek read about it online. The company was worth $50 million. Marcus appeared in magazines. People called him a genius. He was changing the world. Maya was in her 4th year of medical school at Johns Hopkins. She was at the top of her class. She was going to be a pediatric surgeon. She wanted to help children. She was kind and brilliant. Mason worked at Martinez Technologies. He was developing new software. He was creative and smart. His mother said he was going to be a great leader one day. Derek was not there for any of it. He was not there when they graduated from high school. He was not there when they graduated from MIT. He was not there for birthdays or holidays or achievements. He was a stranger to them. They did not know his name. They did not think about him. They did not need him. Derek opened a drawer in his small desk. He took out a notebook. He opened it. He started writing. He wrote almost every night now. Writing helped him think. It helped him process his regrets. November 15th. I am 47 years old today. I worked night shift at Quick Burger like always. I drove home and saw a billboard with Destiny and the kids. Marcus, Maya, and Mason. They are 27 now. They are adults. They are successful and happy. I had nothing to do with it. I wake up every morning and think about them. I wonder what they are doing. I wonder if they are happy. I know they are happy. I see their photos online. They smile in every picture. They have everything. They have their mother. They have each other. They have success and love. I have nothing. I work at a fast food restaurant. I live in a terrible apartment. I have no family. I have no friends. I am alone. I will die alone. This is my life now. This is my forever. I told Destiny she was too stupid to finish college. She built a $5 billion company. She raised 3 extraordinary children. She is one of the most powerful women in the world. I was wrong about everything. She was never stupid. I was the stupid one. I was too stupid to see her worth. I was too stupid to understand what I had. I threw away my real family. I abandoned 3 babies before they were born. I called their mother worthless. I blocked her number. I married someone else for money and status. I thought connections were more important than love. I was wrong. This is the price of cruelty. I destroyed the best thing I ever had. I cannot fix it. I cannot apologize enough. I cannot make it right. Some mistakes are too big. Some damage is permanent. Some doors never open again. I made my choice 15 years ago. I chose wrong. Now I pay for it every single day. I will die alone with my regrets. There is no redemption for me. There is no second chance. There is no forgiveness. This is what I deserve. Derek closed the notebook. He put it back in the drawer. He lay down on his couch. He stared at the ceiling. The ceiling had water stains and cracks. Everything in his life was broken. Derek closed his eyes. He was tired. He was always tired. Meanwhile, across the bay in Atherton, California, Destiny sat in her home office. The office was large and beautiful. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed the garden outside. Expensive furniture, shelves full of books, awards on the walls. Destiny was 45 years old now. Her hair had a few gray streaks, but she was still beautiful. She wore comfortable clothes, a sweater and jeans. She was done working for the day. Now she was waiting for her children to arrive for dinner. The doorbell rang. Destiny walked to the front door and opened it. Marcus, Maya, and Mason stood together. They smiled when they saw their mother. "Hi, Mom," Maya said. She hugged Destiny. "Hi, sweetie," Destiny said. She hugged Marcus and Mason too. "Come in, dinner is almost ready." They walked to the dining room. The table was set for 4 people. Destiny made lasagna. It was the children's favorite meal when they were little. They sat down together. They talked about their lives. Marcus talked about a new project at Green Future Energy. Maya talked about her medical school classes. Mason talked about the software he was developing at Martinez Technologies. "I'm so proud of all of you," Destiny said. "You work so hard." "We learned from you, Mom," Marcus said. "You taught us that hard work matters," Mason added. "You taught us to never give up," Maya said. They ate dinner together. They laughed. They told stories. They were close and happy. After dinner, the children helped clean up. Then they sat in the living room together. "Mom, are you okay?" Maya asked. "You look tired." "I'm fine, sweetie. Just thinking." "About what?" "About how lucky I am. I have 3 wonderful children. I have a company I love. I have a good life." "We're lucky too," Marcus said. "You gave us everything." "You sacrificed so much for us," Mason said. Destiny shook her head. "It was never a sacrifice. Being your mother is the best thing I ever did. You 3 are my greatest achievement. Not the company, not the money, you." The children stayed for another hour. Then they left. They each hugged Destiny goodbye. "Love you, Mom," they said. "Love you too," Destiny said. After they left, Destiny stood at the window in her office. She looked out at the city lights in the distance. She thought about the girl she was at 22 years old, pregnant, alone, terrified. $50 in her bank account, no family, no future. She wanted to tell that girl something. You will survive this. You will do more than survive. You will build something extraordinary. You will raise 3 brilliant children. You will prove everyone wrong. You will be happy. Destiny built her life without Derek. She raised her children without him. She proved that his cruelty did not define her. His words did not break her. She was never too stupid. She was always strong enough. Her success was not revenge. It was simply the truth. She was capable. She was brilliant. She was worthy. Derek was wrong about everything. Destiny turned away from the window. She sat at her desk. She had work to do. She always had work to do. But tonight, she felt peaceful. She felt complete. Derek would spend the rest of his life alone with his regrets, working night shifts at a fast food restaurant, living in a broken apartment, thinking about everything he lost. Destiny would spend the rest of her life building, creating, loving her children, and proving that cruelty always costs more than kindness could ever give. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen